If you were in town this week, you may have noticed something odd. Victoria Square was invaded by women in corsets and men in top hats to celebrate the fine art of time travelling. With Christmas only 8 days away, most of us will be gathering together to celebrate the festive season. But not this bunch. They've gathered for a different reason. International Pretend to be a Time Traveller Day, to celebrate a bygone era and just to dress up.
International Time Traveller Day has been around for about 4 years now, isn't it? And I think it was originally an idea that someone came up with over the internet as a sort of a joke, but now it's become sort of a celebration or a thing you do, you know. So, yeah, and it gives you an opportunity to, if you like a certain time period or something, you can be that time period.
Christian Reynolds, who organised the picnic, said that the evening ran like clockwork.
Tonight I think has been phenomenally successful. It's been a really good night, good buzz, about 55-60 people here, determining when it was. We've had lots of tea, we've had English muffins and crumpets and scones and jam and sandwiches and biscuits.
Having tea? Yes. This is our dinner, really. So we have chai latte, very Indian, and curried egg sandwiches. And I think we've had a cheese and onion croissant, and we have mini cheesecakes.
But some couldn't completely let go of the modern comfort and convenience of takeaway food. And when it came to entertainment, it wasn't all a walk in the park, with kite flying getting the thumbs down by the Adelaide City Council due to public safety concerns. Christian, looking for another quintessential English game, saw only one other option.
So croquet it was. My grandfather was a really good croquet player. He actually played it during university, and his professor there would actually make his students play it to actually determine their personalities, because croquet is a very backstabbing game. You can do some awful things to other people on the field.
For others, it was not so much about finding out their personality as it was about becoming someone else.
Well, I'm just a typical Victorian adventurer gentleman who enjoys going for the hunt. And so I'm all decked out in my regalia for that purpose. This is my Thunderbuster, a sonic device designed to stun or kill your game. You can go out for your rhinoceros or elephant quite easily with one of these. Being a sonic device, it has to be steam powered. So that's the backpack.
It also allowed people to simply leave their stressful lives behind for a while.
It's just nice to dress up. You know, we've always been a bit of a dress-up family. We love fancy dress and things like that. And yeah, it's just so fun. It's just fun to escape, you know, everyday life and the jobs we have and the crisis at home. And not everybody understands why grown-ups want to dress up. And it's nothing to do with being childish. It's more to do with being childlike, enjoying the fact of being able to have fun, you know, get out of that stiff adult world where everything's proper and very boring, and just to be able to have a little bit of fun and run with it.
But what do these crazy characters do when they're not time travelling, you ask?
I'm a retired registered nurse, would you believe?
I wear waistcoats and things like that to work and look a little bit special, but then again it adds a little bit of mysteriousness and class and frivolity to an everyday office environment of ties and normal shirts. A waistcoat or a pocket watch adds something a bit different.
I'm in IT. I work on an FPOS help desk for Bank SA.
Wow, so what would you say to all your fellow help desk employees if they saw you now?
See, I really am strange.
No matter their profession, their passion for Victorian-style clothing was overwhelming.
We don't dress nice enough nowadays, and being able to dress up in the clothes of different eras, and you get to put on a different persona and be nice and polite to people and meet other people that like dressing up, and it's just a lot of fun.
The event attracted many newcomers, young and old, some even travelling from interstate to attend. But many were dedicated, lifelong enthusiasts who jumped at the chance to don a bustle and feather hat like Kay and Terry.
I've been involved with the Victoriana Society since the beginning in 1983. Before that, I was already dressing dolls in period costumes, so it's something of an obsession. I have a very large collection of original costume, which is a study collection, which is used to teach people how to make good quality reproduction costume. and also original publications that I use to teach people. So yes, costume is my obsession in my life, and my daughter and my husband are quite long suffering.
I asked Kay how many costumes she thought she owned.
Oh my gosh, about 600 probably. It's easy to wear and launderable.
Is it easy to wear?
Within the parameters of wearing Victorian costume, yes.
I love her hat. She does very silly hats, and they're wonderful. One does wonderful bonnets as well.
Actually, I like this outfit. I love this skirt and the way that it's draped. It's a beautiful drape.
Yes, it actually belongs to an 1886 gown that is normal with the bodice and the hat and everything. It's just that I just decided to use the skirt and the hat, and I did everything else very incorrectly for period Victorian, but perfectly wonderful for something like this. So punked up Victorian works for me.
Although costuming is a big part of her life, Terry admits that she doesn't normally go too over the top.
I'm very drab in my everyday life, which is why I so thoroughly enjoy dressing up for things like this. And if I can go a little overboard, then I jolly well will.
The night wasn't all about stepping back in time, but also looking to the future for the launch of their Fringe show.
So, without further ado, we have Olympia, a steampunk spectacular. Huzzah!
Well, the shows originally began as a friends party, and subsequent parties became bigger and more creative, and then eventually we did a larger one for the Australian Costumers Guild. That game was adapted into a Fringe show, and every time we play it, we fix some more mechanics of the game, we make more characters, and it has taken on a life of its own.
It is like nothing else you will have seen.
The hall's filled with the rumbling noise of the engines, and the game takes off.
But a game with so much involvement can't go along without some minor hiccups.
There was so many little moments that occurred. One of them, my wife actually faked a pass out, a fainting spell, and I was actually really genuinely concerned about it because she really, we'd been busy all day getting ready, she was in a tight corset and everything, and then suddenly there's a cry goes up, oh, someone's passed out, oh no, like I'm rushing there, and there's my wife sprawled out, and I'm, oh my god, what's happened, oh no, but just for a split second, it's like, I go up to her and go, game or real, game or real, game or real, and she doesn't say anything, just keeps me hanging, and she whispers, game. Oh no!
In this unique Fringe performance, audiences are invited to participate in a murder mystery styled game.
Yes, there were some people who were slightly intimidated, but because everyone's already dressed up and they've sort of gone, well, I'm going to dress up, I'm going to arrive, they're already that halfway there. And then they find out that none of those people bite, and that actually there's a lot of nice people out in the world. Because they're not actually being themselves, they're being some other character, they can behave. It's sort of like wearing a mask without wearing a mask, so they can behave in whatever fashion they like within the proprietary of the Victorian era. Yes, you've got to be very polite. If you're going to go and
murder somebody,
you've got to do it very nicely.
Excuse me, ma'am, would you mind awfully if I murdered you?
Yes.
Oh, not at all, not at all.
Yes.
If you're thinking about joining in next year, here are some words of advice.
Don't worry about what other people think. If you want to have a go, have a go.
Yes.
Because dressing up is fun.
We're all really, really friendly, so it's a great little event, and it's totally family friendly. We have 5-year-olds in little frock coats even, which is amazingly cute, I must say. It's been a lot of fun, and I can't ask for more. For me, for me, for me.
Megan Dempsey reporting. Stay with us because the next story is bound to light you up and put you in the mood for Christmas. Christmas just wouldn't be Christmas without a trip to check out the lights. So that's exactly what I did. But the trick is knowing where to go.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Christmas is an institution here in Adelaide with the Riverbank Christmas display celebrating its 50th anniversary. But there are some other light displays around Adelaide well worth checking out, so let's take a look.
Merry Christmas.
Len Smith of 37 Garnet Street, Salisbury East, has dedicated the last 20 years of his life to Christmas.
It's something that I feel, it's like a bit of a passion. Some people go on a fishing trip, I go or on a holiday. I went to the North Pole this year on top of the roof with Father Christmas.
Even his wife Deborah couldn't escape the Christmas craze, although not everyone in his family shares the enthusiasm.
Well, I think we're mad.
But his madness doesn't stop at the lights, and Len couldn't wait to take us inside for a look at the rest of his Christmas collection.
Well, I'm basically starting already seeing little changes to make improvements, but the whole year is spent making things, and most of the stuff on this here is all hand built. And I've got a lot of friends that help me do that.
At the end of the day, Len says it's all been worth it.
And the enjoyment that you get from watching it and from the other kids seeing it, just makes it so wonderful actually.
My favourite light is the big Christmas tree.
Each night, up to 40 carloads are drawn in by Len's neon home.
Yeah, some nights you can get, the street is actually chock-a-block full. And then it's a real rock and roll night some nights,
And if the music gets too loud outside, there's always the car radio.
I just choose a frequency and people can get their radio in their car and tune it to 88.9 and listen to it in their car if they like.
Len's lights have raised over $2,000 so far, the money to be donated to the Women's and Children's Hospital.
When I was a young lad there, I had to go to the Children's Hospital quite a few years, and it's always sort of been in the back of my mind. And when we decided to pick somebody, went through a few and thought, well, Children's Hospital, and I got a couple of girls that were going to have kids later on, so we decided to go with them, and they've been pretty supportive.
If you're headed out to see Len's lights this Saturday night, be sure to get there early.
We're having a sausage sizzle from about 6:30 onwards, then the light show starts at 8:30, about $2 a sausage we reckon we'll sell them for.
And where does Len rank himself for Christmas lights in Adelaide, you ask?
Well, I'd have to say number one.
Megan Dempsey reporting.
Merry Christmas.
Well, they really put my house to shame. That's all we have time for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the program and can join us again in the new year every Friday night at 7 p.m. Good night.